Hello and welcome to the third in our series of videos all about honors contracts. So now that you know what an honors contract is and you know how to design your honors contract, it's time to learn how to manage your contracts. So in this video, we're going to talk about how to locate your honors contracts online, how to submit an honors contract online, talk about important deadlines related to submitting your contract, a brief look at the honors contract review and approval process, how to revise your contracts, and if you need to, how to cancel an honors contract. So, your honors contracts live in your MyWCU page. So if you go on your MyWCU page and you click the little hamburger in the upper left where the search menu is, and then you go to classes and registration and click on that tab, you'll get the drop-down menu you see on the screen, and you're looking for Manage Honors Contracts. Once you click on Manage Honors Contracts, you'll be taken to a page where the upper left-hand corner looks like this. To submit a new honors contract, simply click on the big blue button that says Submit New Honors Contract. The first question you'll be asked is whether or not this is a contract for a study abroad course. If the answer is yes, it'll kick you out of the system and tell you to call the Honors College to set up that contract offline. If you click no, it will then open the honors contract template for you to fill out. Now again, you should have already met with your instructor to finalize all the details of your project before attempting to go online to fill in all the information. So the first thing you'll see is your student name, and your name will automatically be populated in the student name box right here. It will also load all your courses for you, and you will simply select from this drop-down list of courses which course you're doing the honors contract in. Next, we'll ask if you'll be graduating at the end of the semester, and we will also ask you for your project deadline. That is not the same as the deadline to submit your honors contract. The project deadline is whatever point in the semester you and your instructor have decided you should have completed your contract. Next, you'll pick which type of contract you're doing, which we discussed in the previous video. So, are you doing an additional project or activity, or are you doing an extension of a regular course assignment? We also ask if the project is going to be related to discipline or content specific area, or if it is just general professional experience that you will be engaging in. Next, we'll get to the first of the big three things you'll need to know for your project. We talked about this in the last video, and so you should know that that will consist of your learning goals, your activities, and your outcome or deliverable. So, for your learning goals, we have a space here for you to type in what your learning goals are. Again, you should have already discussed this with your instructor. And then we also have a short list of some common learning goals. You will need to check at least one of these, but you can check more than one for any of those that will apply to the specific project that you're going to be doing. Once you've entered in your learning goals, it's now time to enter in your activities. So remember, this is a brief description of what you will be doing. It's a statement about how you will achieve your project learning goals. What are you going to do to carry out this project? Are you going to the library? Are you spending time in an art studio? Are you volunteering for a local organization? Will you be having regular meetings throughout the semester with your instructor to check on your progress? All of these things can go under your activities. Then we come to outcomes or deliverables. Now we have several of these listed. You will need to choose at least one, and will quite possibly choose 2 or even 3. It is very unlikely that you will ever have to check all of these different outcomes or deliverables. Try to pick the 1 or 2 options that most closely align with what your project is going to be. For each one that you click, it will then open a dialog box. It'll have a text box for you to fill in, along with some simple instructions on how to fill out that particular one. So for this one, it's a research expectation. So you're going to describe the underlying inquiry or research question, the type of research, and the scope of the work to be accomplished. You'll have different prompts for each one of the different types of outcomes or deliverables. Now, a common practice for students to do is to do some sort of presentation along with whatever written product they're going to be turning in as well. For the presentation, we have some specific information that we need related to that presentation. So a description of the presentation itself, when you are going to be doing that presentation, what the expected audience is of the presentation, and whether or not it is open to guests. The most common examples we see of this are students doing a presentation in their class for their instructor and their classmates, or presenting at our WCU RASC, the Research and Scholarship Celebration, or NCUR, the National Conference for Undergraduate Research. Once you have filled in all that necessary information, you also have the option to add an attachment. We most often see this if you are doing an extension of a regular project where you can attach some type of copy of the original assignment, or you can attach a rubric that your instructor may have given you. Also, sometimes an instructor will already have an honors contract assignment ready for you, and so then you can attach whatever PDF or Word handout they have provided you with. Lastly, we'll ask you to check a box that certifies you are an Honors College student, and then you will click Submit for approval. Once you have submitted your contract, you will see this screen. It will tell you that your honors contract has been submitted, and shortly you will receive an email to also confirm that. Once that has happened, you can then go to your Manage Honors Contract page, and you should see the contract that you submitted showing up under My Current Contracts. It's very important to remember the deadlines for submitting your honors contract online. In fall and spring semester, it is always going to be on Friday at 5 p.m. at the end of the 4th week of classes. During the summer semesters, it will be Friday at 5 p.m. at the end of the 2nd week of classes, during whichever session you are taking your class in. The May mini-mester, first session, second session, or the combined session. So once you've submitted your contract, what happens next? Well, then the contract has to go through the approval process. The first person that will review and approve your contract or send it back to you for revisions will be your instructor. The instructor will look at the contract to verify that all the information you entered is correct according to the meetings and discussions that you had earlier. It's important that you and your instructor agree on the specifics of the project and that you enter in all the information that you discussed with your instructor. Now again, if anything is different on the form that you filled out from what the instructor thought you had agreed upon, or if something else is not quite right according to your discussions, they may send it back to you for revisions. If this happens, you will see it in your My WCU contract portal showing that revisions are needed, and you'll also get an email telling you that you've had a contract returned and revisions are necessary. Once the instructor has approved it, it then goes to the Honors College for approval. We will look at it to verify all the necessary information is included. We'll make sure that the project is relevant to the course material and that it aligns with the level of the course, whether it's a 100, 200, 300, or 400 level course. We'll make sure there is enough detail included in your honors contract so that we in the Honors College know what you're going to be doing for your project. Now again, just like your instructor is able to do, we might send it back to you to ask for revisions. Generally speaking, this is where we require some more detail than you provided us on the template. Now, because this process can take a while, it's very important that you do not wait for final approval of your contract. While we do oftentimes ask for revisions from students to provide more detail about their contract, it's very rare that we just reject a contract outright. So what that means is your contract will be approved at some point in the semester, but it may be several weeks into the semester, and if you wait to receive final approval, you may not have enough time in the semester left to complete your project. So once you have submitted it, go ahead and get started on the work. Now, if you are asked to provide revisions for your honors contract, you'll receive an email with comments regarding the changes needed. To make revisions on your contract, open up your Manage Honors Contract page, look under My Current Contracts for the contract that needs revisions, and click on the little notepad icon under the Edit column. Make whatever changes you need to make, and then click Submit for approval. Make sure you see the confirmation page, and you should also get a confirmation email that your revisions have been submitted. At this point, the status will change from revision needed to waiting for instructor approval, and then it goes back through the process. The instructor will review it and approve it, and then it will get passed on to the Honors College. If for some reason, at some point in the semester, you decide you are not going to complete your contract, you have a couple of options. The one that we prefer you do is to inform your instructor that you are canceling your contract, and then inform the Honors College that you want to cancel your contract, either by emailing honors@wcu.edu or email me directly at cctownsend@wcu.edu. Please put the subject line as Cancel Honors Contract and make sure to include your name, your 920 number, the course prefix, course number, and course section. So for example, Sociology 103, Section 5. The other option that you have is to simply not complete the contract. If that's the case, at the end of the semester, your instructor will mark the contract as incomplete and you will not receive honors credit for that course. If you have any kind of problem submitting your contract from the tech end of it, then feel free to email or call me, Colin Townsend, at 227-7383, or email me at cctownsend@wcu.edu. Now, it's important not to wait until the last minute to submit your contract. In case there is some kind of problem submitting it, you want to make sure you get it submitted online before the deadline. Contracts that are not submitted by the deadline, which again, Friday at 5 p.m. at the end of the 4th week of classes during fall and spring, will not be accepted.